recording.
Yes.
It's running.
Yes, it's recording. So it will also be posted on our website, and we can refer to it whenever we need it.
Yeah. So just to tell you, there is a startup now in Israel I'm involved in. It's called Be Brief, and it allows you during the webinar to cut video to a kind of a promo. So my agency, if you would like, will take this video in the end, and we will do a short promo, and then the rest of course, this will be cut out, of course, but it will be edited. So if you want, then I can share with you the promo and the video, of course. So you can go right ahead and post it, or you can wait for me. Any way you choose. It's because I do webinar. I become now the webinar guru. It's another guru. So I'm guruing everything I can. So webinars is now the next thing.
Guru of the gurus.
No, in 1 month to do 4 webinars just in Romania, 2 in Azerbaijan. Come on. Mexico, India.
In Romanian also, or just
Puțin. Not too much.
Awesome.
No, I will need to go to the embassy to do the swearing. I need to speak Romanian, something, you know. And my grandmother is like, speak Romanian, vorbești all the time, and I'm trying to. No, I'm hearing it from childhood. This is what I know is Romanian, but I don't get to speak it. So what to do? Hopefully it will be okay.
Well, if you allow me, I will leave you plenty of room and time, but I have to do some intro anyway to our agenda today. So welcome again. Thank you all for accepting to share your insights, to share your experience in empowering tech communities and scaling impact. This is the subject of today's meeting, and we are doing this today because we want to create a powerful, vibrant community, and we want it to be designed with the female entrepreneurs' needs in mind. And we need your help, we need your ideas, we need your opinions on this subject. And we are really fortunate to have this diverse panel of people sharing their time with us today. And also I would like to mention that this webinar is co-organized by Accelerator Day, which is a local company, which is me, more or less, committed to create happier, healthier workplaces and teams. And also it's co-organized by Digital Innovation Zone, which is the first digital innovation hub in Northeast Romania region. And actually today was the official opening event of that Digital Innovation Hub, and we were very fortunate to be able to link these 2 events for showing up what we really care for, empowerment and women in this moment. Also, please stay with us until the end, because the webinar is supported by EIT Health alumni community. I am one of the alumni, Anka is also, and Ion is also one of the alumni, and we are very proud to share also some opportunities that you can access by joining the alumni community as well, because you stayed with us in this project. We have a great panel. Thank you again for joining, and thank you to all attendants for investing 1 hour of their time in innovating their future and discovering new challenges and new opportunities. Also, for best interaction, I would advise you to send the questions via chat, and I will be very quick in sharing them with the speakers. And please keep your mic closed when you're not speaking, and please keep your camera open, and your time will pay off, of course. I also invited the attendants to fill in a short survey that will help us in mapping an accurate image of the challenges the female entrepreneurs are facing, trying to develop an idea in tech, or this survey will also help us to showcase the solutions you think as people that are interested in this subject that are most appropriate for your support. I will share the link in chat also very quickly. So the agenda is very, let's say, open, because we want it to be like a friendly chat between our guests, and with your help and questions. We will do some short guest intro, and these are our dear guests that we want to learn from, and afterwards we'll be talking. Well, I am interested to find out the best practices that you think are applicable in this situation, what challenges are faced by women techpreneurs, what opportunities may arise, and how is this diverse experience coming from Israel, coming from Romania, coming from Azerbaijan, coming from, where are you from, Anka? Everywhere in Europe, based in based in Switzerland now. So we are so diverse and different, and we have a lot of ideas to share here. So this is our panel of guests. I will invite every one of you to present themselves, because this is the best way to do it. Keep it short, keep it brief. Tell us, why are you here, and why did you accept my invitation? I wonder if this subject really is of interest to you, and what appealed to the subject of women empowerment in tech related to your background and skills. And I promised Tal that you'll have the mic soon, so please.
Okay, so I start. So Bună ziua. I'm very happy to be here with all of you, and I'm sure much more people will have the time later to enjoy this video. So I'm really eager to share more. I join you from Israel, very near Tel Aviv right now, and I want to speak about the femtech, which is, I think, the biggest opportunity, femtech, feminine technology, or women digital health, which is an industry growing very rapidly, offering, I think, the prominent option or opportunity for women to get into entrepreneurship, to get into business, to get involved, because it's all about women, and they know best. I'm very happy again. I know everyone on the panel, I think, from Azerbaijan, Tatiana, Bianca in Romania, of course you, Christiana. I mean, you had the great opportunity of interviewing me in the past, and I'm sure everyone has a lot to share with me shortly. I just run accelerators. I work with many startups in several countries. And that's it. Let's go.
Okay, thank you, Tal. So you are very modest as usual, but I'm very interested in the subject of your Eve Femtech Accelerator, and I am sure that you will talk about it later. The next guest in our panel is Bianca. She's coming from Romania. She's the founder of Elite Business Woman, a very impressive network. So Bianca, why are you here?
Thank you so much for the invitation, and congratulations for such a great event. It's honestly interesting because you are talking about women empowerment, and for me it's what I am doing in the last, creating ecosystems to empower people, and I think this is what we do today. I believe as well in education, and we have a small part of education in the event as well. And of course, I believe in women entrepreneurship, and this is why I advise women to come into entrepreneurship, not only because I am a woman, but because when we invest in women, they invest 90% back into their communities. So in a short notice, I am an entrepreneur, the founder of Elite Business Women, a network of more than 12,000 women entrepreneurs. We have three main pillars of activity. The first one is education. We are creating programs to educate entrepreneurs, women entrepreneurs, to grow and promote their businesses. We have businesses in business clubs in 6 countries across Europe. The second pillar in our activity is the funding pillar. We have the Elite Business Women Investment Fund. We believe in funding women's businesses, and this is what we do. We just launched it last year, so it's a fresh start for us. And the third pillar is the global cooperation collaboration pillar. We launched the EU GCC Women's Cooperation Group, bringing together organizations for women, but not only, organizations in business from Europe, and bringing them together with the Gulf countries. And this is what we do.
Thank you, Bianca. I'm sharing now the next guest, and it is Anca Serbu. Anca is a global entrepreneur, intrapreneur, living in so many countries. Yes, and I'm very proud of her, really.
Thank you, Christina. Thank you for having me, for inviting me. It was very nice meeting you. I cannot believe it's already 1 year since we met the first time in the EIT Health Starship program last year. As you already said, I'm currently based in Switzerland. My background is actually in public health and healthcare management. This is what I have been doing in Romania, in Spain, in Austria, and now in Switzerland. I actually work in hospitals, and my field of expertise is patient safety and quality improvement for years. And in the last, let's say 3 years, no more than 3 years, I have been quite involved with innovation in healthcare, because I realized the importance of adopting and implementing innovation in order to keep up with the quality and safety standards. So right now, I'm also part of the EIT Health alumni community, actually for 3 years already. I started quite early, right after the EIT Health became a thing in Europe. And I'm still the local representative for Austria. Therefore, I have been involved in organizing lots of activities on a small or medium-large scale with the other alumni communities. I've been quite active in the DACH region because of my location also, of course. So my recent development, also with the support of EIT Health as well, and in terms of technology and innovation, has been the DAB project, which I developed during the coronavirus as response action towards the underserved communities and long-term care facilities. The DAP comes from the Digital Aid project, and it is a global ad hoc non-profit initiative gathering health innovators and public health specialists in an interdisciplinary network. So I'm very proud to actually lead this network, where we actually have approximately 21 amazing professionals in the main team, 9 highly skilled, experienced advisory board members, and over 50 international fellows and ambassadors, which are all volunteers. And I have been very moved since the beginning to see how many qualified professionals signed up to join the efforts on a pro bono basis for the vulnerable. And to be honest, I am very proud to lead this innovative initiative where 60% of the members are women. So I guess this is how it mostly relates with the topic from today. And yes, I am trying to push this forward, because in the healthcare field, there's a definite need, not only in tech, but also in innovation in healthcare, that we push women forward in leading positions.
Okay, thank you, Anca.
Thank you, Christina.
We'll talk later about your initiative. And now let's go to our next guest, which is Ion. Okay, Ion is the person due to whom I arrived in EIT Health. I don't know how, but it happened. And it's been very, very good to me since then, that approach with EIT innovation and tech and community power. Thank you, Ion. Please.
I will unmute myself.
Yeah, please.
First of all, Christina, thank you for introducing me. Hello, everybody. Nice to see the people that I know. Nice to see the people that I would like to know more about. I'm Ion. I'm, I would say, a professional believer. I believe that people can do much more than the other will let them do it. And I think we are, let's say, in this culture, in this context, being told too many times it's not possible, you cannot do it. So I'm helping the people that want to do it, contradict the people that will say you that you cannot do it. And I believe I live up to this in the last years or so. I was one of the first people from Romania to discover EIT Health. That was 5 years ago. And ever since, I wanted to have more people joining. And you will see the reasons through some of the arguments that will be explained. I'm a medical doctor by training, did 15 years in the pharmaceutical business. From 10 years, I'm an entrepreneur, and both commercial and social entrepreneurship. And the reason I'm here, I'm the father of 3 girls. I want to give them a better world to join. And I am constantly trying to help the people. Sometimes people are not ready to be helped. That's probably one of the biggest frustrations that I'm encountering. But still, I'm persisting because the people that usually accept my support, they enjoy it later on.
Thank you, Ion. Let's go to our last guest, which is Tatiana. Tatiana is coming from Azerbaijan, a very exotic country from our point of view, and she has a force there. She is the founder of a lot of women empowering projects. Tell us more about yourself, Tatiana, and thank you for being here.
Hi again. I didn't recognize that, like, you know, exotic, but I love this description of the country. Okay, I don't think it is exotic for Tal anymore, because, like, you know, this is becoming like his one of the second country. So anything. Thank you for inviting me to this panel. I am the entrepreneur, both social and commercial entrepreneur. Have multiple businesses, but my social passion in life is the women leadership ambassadoring, women and the girls, because I don't believe that we can do anything unless we start communicating the right things in the families, to the girls, about the girls, and for the girls. So yes, I'm the founder of the 100 Businesswomen of Azerbaijan, but it's no more the 100 businesswomen. We call ourselves Azerbaijan businesswomen because we were so much tired of the question, are you only the 101 in Azerbaijan, or when is going to be more, etc. So this is a business networking, pretty unique, of the female business owners, so top level executives. And I set it up 10 plus years ago. And the main reason for that was that we need the role models. And this is what we will be talking about today. So bringing the role models together for the girls, for the women, to show that the things are possible. So instead of believer, I think I'm more disruptor. And having 3 boys in the family, looking forward to their perspective, like, you know, happiness in the future. And I do believe that they will be happy only if they have partners of the women who will be self-sustainable and will be, like, you know, realizing themselves in the life. But we'll come to that. So that was short about me.
Okay, thank you. Remember, I was telling you that we did some survey with the attendants, and coming from that survey, around 80% of the women that were asked are feeling that they are underrepresented in roles that are related to tech area. Also, this survey is consistent with the findings from a lot of research saying that in relation to venture capital funding, also women are most invisible there. Why do you think is happening? Do you think it's something related to Romania, to Eastern Europe, or did you find it the same where you come from Israel, from Azerbaijan, from Switzerland, maybe, Anka? Can you share some thoughts on this subject? Why are we so underrepresented related to tech entrepreneurship? So this is open the open panels.
Personally, I just wanted to say that I don't think it's just an underrepresentation only in tech. I think it's in general. So maybe Tatiana, after she just had a short introduction, she's relating quite well to this. As I said before, I think in healthcare is the same situation. You might just find nurses which are overrepresented by women, whereas the discrimination is in that field for men. When you find a male nurse, you're just like, oh, you're a nurse. Oh, wow. Which is also okay to be. So I think the societies are leaning towards a more unbiased gender trend, which I think is good. Of course, it's normal that in some societies, due to the history, it's a little bit more difficult to accept these changes. And according to the conservatorism that has been happening in countries like post-communist countries and so on, I think it's a little bit more difficult to accept this, and it might take a little bit longer. But I think that's the underrepresentation of women in leading positions. It's in general a thing, regardless of the country. I mean, we're dealing with this even in the United States. It's a known fact. In the UK, it's the same. Whereas in Eastern and Western Europe, so there's no border in that. The good thing is to see that in tech, actually, the movement is rising, in my opinion, and what I have seen so far in innovation in healthcare, which is my field that I can talk about, it's that the movement is rising, and there are more and more recent graduates and PhDs and postdocs from highly technical with highly technical backgrounds that are actually thriving in a male world, which is very rewarding, I guess, not only for them, but for our whole society. So it's a good role model also for the kids to find out that it's okay to be a woman in a highly technical field.
Yeah, thank you. Tatiana, you were saying something?
Yeah, actually, like, I've been traveling so far before the pandemic nearly 3 times like a month, which I'm missing right now, and speaking at the different events and talking to the different like communities. I think we share the same issues, absolutely. So I find this like similarities all over the world in all the different industries, okay? And there are different like, backgrounds of that, why this is happening. But again, I'm back to the thing, like, how we're being raised, how we've been raised, like, as being the girls. I do remember when I came to London, they were showing me one of the schools, and all of a sudden, in the middle of that, I understood that the school is like all girls school, okay, and that was IT school, created by Microsoft. So when I started asking, like, are you religious school or something, they said no. But at some point, they realized that when they were sitting, the girls were sitting together with the boys in the same lessons, okay, they were reluctant to ask the technical questions because the boys were underestimating their ability to talk about like the things like motor, whatever it is. So they splitted them just for those technical things, and amazing result immediately, like a few months after, the girls started coding, the girls started like creating something. So they were like they were given the personal space, and after that, like that helped them to develop. But on the higher level, on the women's level, that's the same thing. I mean, do they see the ability or the spacing or support or opportunities or role modeling? What are they seeing? What are we communicating? From at every single level. You're absolutely right. It's not only about the tech, it's also about the healthcare. And one of the SHIP congresses last time we did, I was deliberately bringing the female emergency rescuer, female miner, female football player, and then male teacher. Because like, usually the teacher is also like, kind of considered to be female. So these things are like, and I could see the audience. They're all smart, etc. But for them, it was like, eye-opening. So again, how often we talk about the stereotypes and the stigmas, because we are born with the stigmas and we are being raised with the stigmas and we live with the stigmas. We judge ourselves and we judge people around. So how we break them, that's the most important thing. But like, talking about the issues, I think, we have similar issues all over the world. And that's actually good, because at that point, we can share the experience and apply that instead of just inventing, new things or the bicycle.
Yeah, thank you. Tal, you are sharing something about femtech? Or
Yeah, but I want to add first that, of course, I agree, and there is a start point for all of this, and the start point is that industry and business has been in history led by men, which creates still barriers and difficulties for women to enter. There is this male bonding, I will say, in Israel, because it's mandatory to serve in the army. So you have bonding that was, you know, life and death bonding. And men in Israel will probably ask their friends from the army to join the company, and for sure to join the startup is more my domain, is what I see. And then, you know, men do what men do. And then for women to enter, it's very difficult. This is the starting point. It starts difficult. Now we're trying to, you know, take aside the minds that are all around us and get women in. I would say, first of all, and it will be very interesting to hear also the audience, is that the power to, I mean, you listen to the women speaking. They don't have issues with power, okay? They are much stronger than me. Now, just a one person here, right? If they want to do something, it will be done. And behind every man, there is a strong woman, and all, you know all this. You know, you run everything. When it comes to business, all of a sudden, when it comes to tech, you take a step aside. This is when you feel inferior. For some reason, I don't get it even. I don't get, men don't get it. We are very simple creatures, on, off, very easy, no trick. And women don't believe men are so simple to operate. If you want to get something done, you will get it done. You have the smarts, you are much more educated, you know how to manipulate, you know how to speak. All the good things are with the women. Why? Why is that I don't know, you know, some of you are mothers. Will you push your daughter to learn science, to learn computers, or she is better off, not because you told her, but this is what she sees around her. You know, seeing the girly thing, she dresses pink and she likes to do shopping and fashion. I'm not saying it's bad, but this is how we grow up. Men, well, if I need to fix the bicycle, I will call my son. By the way, he doesn't know what to do. He just stares at me, but he's a boy. So you ask him. If I want to play basketball, I don't ask my daughter to play basketball. I do this to her, she starts crying. By the way, he starts crying the same way. Still, this is how we are brought up. Put that aside for a second. Ask yourself, are you doing anything about it right now? The answer is no, I don't think you do. But then you go fast forward to real life and you find out that there is a kind of a male bonding for women to enter is difficult. Women are less into technology, less into studying even technology, which creates a barrier in startup life. Well, when you get pregnant, for instance, you need to say bye-bye to the startup. You have something more important to deal with. Well, startups don't live this way. They need you 24/7. This is when you find out in Israel that women put pregnancy a bit aside if they want to have a career, you know? And remember, it's mandatory army for women as well, meaning women serve in Israeli army. The same way, by the way. Now they're fighting to do the same jobs in the army even. So, and this is moving forward. I don't think anyone stops. Now also by law, in the directorions of company, in the board of companies, it is a must. When it cannot be only men or only women, by law needs to be a woman or a man, depending on the number, okay? But still, this is not picking up. Only 8% of startups in Israel are founded by women. Why is it? No one is bothering them. No one is pushing them to come up with their own idea. This is when Femtech is opening this opportunity. Femtech is all about women. By the way, in my hub, mine and Sharon, my co-founder, half of the startups are men, half of the startups are women. It's not only, I mean, your gynecologist is a man probably. Why? I don't get, but this is how it is. And you're not changing it. So some things are there and it's okay. Some I don't think you need to change. You just need to motivate yourself to put yourself out there. Femtech for sure is the greatest opportunity. This is now agreed all over the world. Still, Femtech is not controlled by men. It is still women leading. but not I would expect 80%, maybe 90%. It's almost 50-50 also today. So this is my angle. The opportunity is there. And I want to thank Tatiana for giving me the opportunity to say it like this 2 years back in she, and I was the he and she. And she gave me the stage to present. And believe me, women were lining up saying, I don't know, startup, smart-up, what you said. I want to have something like this. And this is how you start things to move. You give the option and you help. And I think that Tatiana is doing a great job. Bianca also, of course, you're doing a great job on that. So thank you.
Okay, we have somebody in the audience who wants to share something with us. Flaviana, I think you can unmute yourself and just.
Thank you, Christina. I listened very carefully what you said, and the fact that bothered me the most was when we are supposed not to get pregnant during a startup, because from a man point of view, a child is an obstacle. From a woman point of view, a child is a trigger. I'm a mother of 3 kids. I'm running 2 companies, 2 NGOs, okay, and I have 2 boys and a girl. The kids never stop me to do my job. They teach me about efficiency, about fighting for my goals, about taking care of communities, and of course, to understand men. So stop seeing pregnancy as an obstacle. It's actually an opportunity to learn about negotiations. Nobody negotiates better than a child. If the men would listen to their kids, they will learn a lot. Also about communication with their wives. Stop considering pregnancy as an obstacle, because actually every woman in this discussion can produce a man in 9 months with a little bit of effort. So we know how to deal with men. The problem is that usually men have obstacles in communication with women. So I don't think in Romania today, because if we look at the percentage in Romania, the entrepreneurship, it's almost half for females, almost. So we are much better than other countries. If we try to find excuses for sometimes not finding our place, I don't think it's a solution. We have to fight for what we want, as you do, as males do. And having kids and families should not stop us.
Thank you, Flaviana.
So can I answer? Because I was called to be on the panel just to attract the fire. I'm an Israeli. I'm used to get fired on, okay? And I'm saying this because you speak from your heart and I'm really with you. I'm speaking numbers. There's a big difference between us. I'm speaking reality when you're speaking feelings. The facts are on the table. Yeah. You can tell me whatever you want and I will agree with you 100%, okay? I don't know how it is to bear kids. I know what a startup needs and I see what happens. And I'm not saying this is an excuse. I wish women will be. By the way, in my accelerators, in my startups, I demand they will not be just men or just women. But this is not the case. The case is mostly just men. I need, and I order, and I make sure that women are joined because they think totally different. And I'm not saying design, I'm thinking business-wise. When you give them the option to give their thoughts, and some of them are leaders, because again, in Israel, army changes you a bit. In 18 years of age, you're still flexible to get things inside of you and change just a little, and you see it coming out. But the facts is that a startup, and I can tell you a lot about startups. By the way, the rest of the people here also can tell. And you know for yourself, because you're running businesses, how demanding it is. And I'm not saying women should use this as an excuse, but as a fact, you are working a little bit slower and you have this on your, because you have something more important to handle. And I'm not saying it is a bad, I'm saying it as a fact. And the fact is only 8% in Israel, the startup nation of the world, startup nation, the biggest numbers of startups per capita, per 1 million in Israel. And only 8% is startup founders as women, as a fact. Why is it? Believe me, I have the first and the only femtech hub of the world. and I'm promoting this towards women. I'm dishing the opportunity and asking. They're not coming. I don't have the solution. I'm dying to know. Maybe you can offer me the solution. I hope you can. But still, during Corona time, Israel is the only country I know in the world that raised close to $1 billion during Corona time, startups, and did the biggest exit of 1 billion, Movit acquired by Intel. So we know something about startups. Still, there is no solution. And by the way, we have the government pushing for this. Government giving funds only for women. Women giving priority in tenders by government. Still, they're gone. They're not there. We don't know why.
Thank you, Tal. I also want to share a very brief personal story that happened recently. I was applying to good accelerator in Romania, and I was doing the pitching session. And what was the question coming from the board that was mainly men? How are you going to be able to join the accelerator and develop your ideas while having a family and a business and kids and so on? So this is a prejudice, and I was very angry about it, and I was writing to Ion the same evening, and I was saying I am going to do something about it. And coming from that story, this is also proven by our survey, which says that women feel that they have to balance a lot work and family life, and they are feeling pressure to work longer hours, and they have the need to be reinforcing their self-confidence, because as you all said, women have it all, but they have to be approached differently, perhaps. What do you think? Can anyone share their thoughts on this idea?
I will join the discussion if it's okay with you. I was listening to all of you, and I think everyone has a little bit of right. There are stereotypes, of course, there are. In numbers, women in Europe has a rate of 29% of entrepreneurship. And what is really interesting to see is that 78% from the businesses with one-person business are women. Women have little businesses. They do it sometimes because they want to have their own initiative. They want to be independent. After childbirth, they don't want to go back to a job because they want the flexibility of a business. So when you are an investor, even though we speak about VC funds or big investment funds, you look at the business opportunity. You look at that business if it's going to give you the return of investment. So it's not about not wanting women to receive money. Women receive only 11% from the VC funds. In top 100 venture capital funds, just 8% are women in the companies. So it's not about someone not letting women to get the funds. It's about the business world, which operates with the return of investment, operates with profitability, operates with a high risk. Women are not risk takers. They will be really concerned when they have decisions to make about their families. How am I going to support my family if I invest all my money in a startup? So what I say is not only because I believe that. I'm working with more than 10,000 women. I've met a lot of women, a lot of businesses, and I see the same patterns. We love to do business. We run the businesses with our hearts, as Tal said, but sometimes the businesses are small businesses, family businesses, and investors. And in the tech industry, they are looking for big businesses, innovation, and businesses who have a return of investment.
Thank you. I would like to go further to the subject of mental health and stress and pressure and anxiety that comes from being an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur, and that also is very related to what we all say here, that women are doing business with their hearts more than with the mind. So I know Anka has been involved in a very impressive project that is now an official instrument of EIT Health related to the crisis, and maybe we can share some ideas on that. What can we do to keep us sane and engaged and
Yes, thank you. Actually, in my role now in Switzerland, I also work in a psychiatric and psychotherapeutic facility only for women. So we have 100%, all our patients are only women. So I have been quite involved personally in this matter as a professional, of course. But on the other hand, as being a professional in public health during the coronavirus has been a marathon for me. And I have been sharing these thoughts also with my colleagues working in the same field, because as you might have heard, usually during the coronavirus, everything was on standby, or many societies have been on standby. In healthcare, I think it was the best moment to get things done and to accelerate everything you wanted, or we have been trying for years to do and to change. So this, of course, put a lot of pressure on us. And for me as a professional, as I said, it has been a marathon, because I had to work in home office, and only 2 days per week I had to come to the hospital, whereas in my free time in the afternoons and evenings I actually carried on the digital aid project as I presented it before. Two of the pain points that we are actually tackling in the digital aid project are specifically patient distress and employee burnout in relation to what you just asked me. So regardless, we're talking here about patients or inpatients in this case, or professionals in general, regardless if they are in healthcare or in any other field of or specialty. I think the change that has been brought upon us with this terrible time, it also brought a lot of emotional and mental implications. What I'm mostly concerned of are the implications, to be honest, on the long term. So what I'm actually looking into and what we're actually developing now with the digital aid project is the preparedness for the second wave of coronavirus. And we are looking, and we are into numbers, and we're actually in contact with lots of organizations to measure the impact of the coronavirus on people's mental health. This, of course, can be due to various reasons. From if it is to be around the same topic of women and raising kids, then of course we're talking again about a lot of pressure. As we are living in a modern world and women are working, they had to handle home office. And if they were lucky, no kids, but or 1, 2, 3 in other cases, more kids at home, which was quite challenging. Until to the part where we say, okay, some of us or some people had to say goodbye to the loved ones in a very tragic way, because they couldn't say proper goodbye to the people. This will definitely affect the mental status. And the pressure of social distancing has been also quite challenging for most people during the coronavirus pandemic and the lockdown in most countries. So what we're looking into, as I said, are the long-term implications of the crisis. And during these difficult times, I think what has been the most rewarding, at least for me, it was also to take, which was very challenging as well, to take a very little part of the day when I had to say, okay, now I will leave my desk, because being at home and in home office, it was really difficult to do it. There's always something coming up. There's always a phone calling. There's always a video conference and so on. So it was actually to take a moment in the evening from the desk and say, okay, now I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing anything that I must do. I'm just going to do a mindfulness exercise, and I'm going to try to be aware of myself and to regain balance. So I think this was key during this difficult time, and I think we should keep doing this for a while now and prepare properly for the second wave.
Okay, thank you, Anka. Also, our survey shows that women are looking for mentorship, networking, and programs that are designed specifically for them due to the special way we are seeing things. Also, let's think action. Let's think about what opportunities are there. what can you share us, and I'm addressing all the speakers now, what can you share us as programs, ideas, or next action steps for women that want to grow further into this tech entrepreneurship area to do? What can we do now? Okay, we know we have challenges, we know we have potential, but what can we do? What should we do? What do you think? I'm addressing all the speakers if you want to share your experience, ideas.
I have a couple of slides prepared for this. Of course, Tal, he has a lot of things to share as well, I'm sure. But if you want to do things in the field of healthcare, there are a number of opportunities. I'll be really quick about the opportunities from EIT Health. I would say that part of becoming an entrepreneur is having a project, because a project is your baby. And I felt like this with my project sometimes. And I might not have my own babies, I have my children, but I always felt like this about my project. So I said a few things about Fresh Blood. We started 5 years ago. And our objective is, as we said, to have the people, projects, and the partnerships. And I'm happy to see this moving in the last period. EIT Health, if you have a healthcare-related project, might be a very good opportunity for you as an innovator or as a person who wants to drive the change. And what is important, to come back from the previous discussions, women's progressed, or their place and their confidence, and I would say their acceptance and their value progressed when there was a crisis. And we are here probably very focused on the driving change. And change is the opposite of a crisis. We are now in a crisis which is driving a lot of change. The very simple thing is telemedicine. Who thought that we will have telemedicine in Romania? Now we have it. Okay, how we will see things evolving, it's another issue. But do believe that it's the crisis that can sometimes be created by you, or can sometimes appear, and you are the most prepared for taking advantage. And now in healthcare, we have a lot of crises. And we see them on TV, we see them on internet. And maybe if you have a solution to such a crisis, maybe you are in the best position and you want to progress your project. My encouragement, see EIT Health as a resource. And it's not only about moving across Europe. You see the pink dot. I don't know why they put pink, but it's Transylvania. We are representing EIT Health in Romania, but our focus is very much to support the people that want to build something, because they need knowledge, they need access to people, they need access to market, and last but not least, they need access to finance. There are 3 programs called Campus, Accelerator, and Innovation Projects, but what is important, these programs, for example, to supporting the innovation start usually at the beginning of the year, application December, January, February. Now we are in May. We are at the end. You see the top green one, which are now in application stage. I will move to this and come back to the slides. So you can actually try and test your idea in different stages. If you have an idea, at project stage, you can have projects. If you want to grow your idea, you have a validate. Or if you want to accelerate your idea, you have the opportunity to scale it. And as an example, preparing for this presentation, I reviewed this application. And for example, in Romania, in InnoStars Awards competition, we have 4 teams in semifinals in 2020, out of which 3 are with women founders. So I would say this is a good argument to show that the opportunity is here. And also, if you want to apply, this might be a little bit focused. You have the bootcamps. Deadline is 15th of June, 2020, for a bootcamp in Oxford, or Oxford coordinated but online, bootcamp related to Delft, and another bootcamp related to Friedrich Alexander University, which is in Nuremberg. So do check these opportunities, and if your project can fit one of these programs, do apply. But what is even more important, and this is the current opportunity. Before maybe going into a project, you need to train yourself. And if you want to train yourself, you need a place where you can actually gain information that you cannot get online, because, okay, now information is everywhere. So my encouragement, we have the summer camps of EIT Health 2020. It's now in the recruitment phase. They are partially releasing the dates. You can check on this link, eithealth.io.campus. And one of the flagships, Christina was also part of the 5 in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. But actually what I checked, this is the picture from 2018, and from the 8 people, actually only 3 are men, 5 are ladies. So this is another argument that there is an open context where you can actually thrive and grow and develop yourself. Strongly encourage you to prepare to apply for this program in December. So somehow our advice is to dream big, and to dream bigger, find those who think the same but no different, and do something. You can find us on Facebook. We have the Health Innovators group. On LinkedIn, we have Health Innovators EU group. And I guess that's it from me. If you have any other question, you can find me on LinkedIn, and I will be happy to answer, especially if you want to solve a healthcare problem. We need so many people, and I do believe that as a woman, you understand a little bit better than the men how the problems in healthcare look like. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Ion, for sharing that. I wonder what is your what is the speaker's idea about other mentorship opportunities, or how do you approach that? Okay, maybe not everybody has the chance, as I did, and Anka and Ion, to join such a prestigious program, but there should be other opportunities. There should be some other ways that we can empower ourselves. Please.
If I may, okay, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes,
so.
yes, please.
So they're like, you know, I was totally impressed by the healthcare, like, you know, the programs. But to my mind, there are different ways of the empowerment. There are different ways of mentorship. There are different ways of cooperation. And in some instance, we are creating the complication when the complication is not needed. So the projects we are doing, I'm trying to split them. Some of them are too simple. We don't run for the long-term mentorship projects, which are being lost in nowhere. But instead, for example, in Baku, I'm doing the mentoring walks with the female students. So what I do is just bringing the role models and the students. And by the way, it's not only about female students. Now we've got male students connecting to us. And within 1 hour on Friday, from 5 to 6 p.m., they walk in the campus of one of the universities, and the golden rule is like not to sit, to make the blood circulating the oxygen. And the second golden rule is you're allowed to ask any sort of the question which you normally wouldn't be asking, okay? So there are no prohibited questions. And trust me, the questions are not about complication of the business. The questions are so basic. How do you cope as a woman? How do you manage the family and the business? How do you do that, and all the rest of that? I mean, these sort of the things which are like, you know, which makes girls uncertain. So this thing is like, you know, very simple, and that's immediate mentorship. Another thing, it was just a, you know, recent project, and I created the Accelerator for the women entrepreneurs. It's called the Scale Up. And the reason was like, you know, based again on my experience, because you see women creating the businesses, but you don't see them growing them. Okay, at some point they are becoming so like, you know, it's not about confidentiality, or it's not about like they are happy with this or not, but they think, okay, that's enough. Hey there, he's great. So it is about like, you know, women when they think that, okay, they created that small business and that's more than enough. Okay. So we've scribbled like, you know, the program from the scratch, divided on the several models like venture investment, communication, working like, you know, on the other markets, etc. But the most interesting part was when I was doing the introduction, and there were 20 fellows, and that was a huge selection process, okay? So among 20 fellows of self-sustainable entrepreneurs with the different businesses, some of them are running like, 2 or 3. I was asking them the reason why they're running their business, why they launched their business, why they keep doing that. I had a huge list, absolutely fantastic list. They love it. I mean, they are, passionate with that. There was zero mentioning of the money. None of them did ever speak about money, because it was like, for them it was the, the listing. And this is where sometimes the key is like, somehow we as women tend not to be comfortable talking about money. And this is what stops us sometimes from growing or from getting bigger or from exiting or from selling. So where is that? I don't know where they cracked our minds in the childhood, and it happened with me as well. But when I started saying to them, okay, would you be there if the business wouldn't be profitable? We don't know, maybe, etc. So money is the thing which is like, not in everybody's mouth. Especially the females ones, we don't feel like, comfortable. But how we bring the thing that money is not a shameful thing, but money is actually the purpose of the business. Even when we talk about the social business, there is nothing wrong on getting the money. And I honestly, I love social businesses more than NGO projects when you're just having grants, because you understand that, like, there is a proper cooperation, there is a healthy partnership, let's put it this way. So bringing, again, to me, mentorship is about bringing the examples, putting them in front of the women, showing them. And that's why I bring speakers from all over the world to Azerbaijan, to that Congress, to make sure that, like, that expertise is showing. So that, like, when they see that things are possible, when they see that someone can do that, and when they see that, like, the disruption can be done easily, and it's not even the disruption, but that's normal common sense, the things are becoming really easier. So again, coming back to the basics, probably not overthinking and doing, the simple things, helping any girls, like, in the community and bringing them the mentors, and also analyzing where we're stuck, why we're not growing. I was speaking in Boston in fall, and when it was innovation summit, and I was talking, I was arguing with one of the Stanford professors, because I said to him that we need women in the startups, we need women in the breakthroughs, women. And he's like, why do we need women? It's not because, like, he doesn't want women, like, why you're emphasizing? And I'm like, because some of the breakthroughs, especially the women ones, are to be done by women. He's like, I don't understand what you mean. Like, okay, when you're talking about the safety belt for the pregnant woman, it's better to be inputted by the woman, because you know how she's felt, and all the rest of the things. The same way, like, if we talk about the healthcare or any sort of the other startups, which is particularly addressing, like, the gender thing. So AI cannot replace those things. I mean, the sensors cannot replace female input. The sensor cannot replace the male input as well. I mean, I don't believe, again, in a mono communities. I don't believe in the male communities, but I don't believe in the totally female communities either. I think synergizing, we work the best. Making combination of our best of our skills, we are fantastic. And this is where, like, the biggest problem is, because sometimes we are like, that cloak. We're either there or we're here, nothing in the middle. So again, bringing the mentorship, fantastic. Why don't we bring men mentors? I had amazing men mentors all of all of my life. So why don't we bring the female mentors to the male students? And this is like, probably like, we shall address it this way, from this angle. Thank you.
Thank you, Tatiana. You said something very powerful related to synergies and to communities and to mentorship. In respect to that, we have a link on our chat that if everyone wants to join the EIT Health alumni, they can do it because they attended this webinar. But in addition to that, and to the next things that we should be doing, I would like you to know that I'm thinking to start a social enterprise related to women empowerment. Probably something that I would love to learn from you, Tatiana, and from all the other ladies. And just to end this interesting discussion in a very engaging way, I would love every one of our speakers to share a thing that you feel that our participants should remember and should stay within their mind in order for them to take immediate steps towards their dreams, towards whatever they feel it's important for them. So please feel free to share.
I can start. I have the mic open. I see Tal also has the mic open, but he's a gentleman and he will let me be the first. Thank you, Tal, for that. Some things I really think they are important if you are an entrepreneur, or if you are a startup, if you are thinking having a business, is the first one is to have a business network around you, to have a mentor. From the beginning, I had a mentor, and all my mentors are men, because we need to learn something about numbers. We need to approach also the leadership they have in business. I believe in diversity. I believe in mixed teams in the management. I believe men and women complete themselves to complete each other. The intuition of a woman with the risk appetite of a man are working wonders. So business networks, online visibility, we need to go digital with our companies. I also encourage entrepreneurs to go in masterminds groups. You will find a know-how exchange who will work perfectly for your business. We need that. And I also believe that you need to approach other international organizations to have know-how exchange with them, good practices, sharing know-how, and to meet other entrepreneurs. And I believe in partnerships. Of course, you cannot do everything by yourself, even though maybe you are the greatest in technology or the greatest woman in fashion. You will have a much greater impact if you do partnerships with other entrepreneurs or other organizations. And about funding, of course, you need funds. If you have a business, this is a resource for you. Money are a resource for you to grow your business. So do approach investors, do go and pitch your business, do try whatever times it is necessary. Don't get upset if they will say no to you. It's nothing personal. It's just a matter of showing the profitability of your business. And that in our EBW organization, we have a lot of programs for you. So I am here, I am everywhere on LinkedIn, social media. So please do contact us. And if you don't know, in the European Commission, they have the European Community of Women Business Angels. You can look for that. They have the European Network of Mentors for Women Entrepreneurs. You can look as well for that. And I am representing as well in Romania the World Business Angels Investment Forum. They have a great network of investors. So it is a great opportunity for you to know more about that. Thank you for the time. I will close my remarks.
Thank you, Bianca.
Thank you, Bianca. That was really insightful. I might just contact you on the last points that you made myself. I just have like one small comment, and it goes towards women. I would say learn and try to collaborate efficiently rather than compete. This is the only way to prevail. For women not to compete anymore with each other and to collaborate, as well as with men, of course, as you mentioned before, as mentors. There are mostly men because they have the history of being leaders. But I would just say the trick is in collaboration rather than competition. So that would be my point. And the closing note.
Thank you.
May I use a movie for my message?
You can do anything you want.
Thank you.
If it's
I
decent.
have, of course. It's a woman that would, it's a movie that fits very well here, I think. I don't know if you have ever seen it, but I think it's highly relevant. Let me check if I have the sound as well on. Wait. Now I have the sound as well. Just dare and change, and that's my words. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. Tal, you have the...
Yeah, well, there's a lot of energy here, and I think it was a very appropriate video, and it was moving between the fear and staying back to actually looking at what women need to do always as a fight. Women need to fight for their stand, to fight for their place. For me, I'm not impressed. I'm saying do whatever you need to do. It's your problem. You want to do, do. You don't want to do, don't do. And I agree 100%. It's like the fact that you're not winning is because it's catfight all the time. I see women in my world, it's like lacking of ability to open the door for someone else. You know, I see it also. We have several investing funds owned and run by women. And I try to push women entrepreneurs towards them. And the answer is always the same. Why the hell would you think I would like to invest in a woman? Why? Because I'm a woman? I invest in good. I do business. I'm not interested in who is in front of me. I want to be wealthy and successful like you are. So don't bring me a woman and say, invest in her because. You need to fight for your place as everyone fights for their place. If you're a startup, your life is even worse and more difficult. This is how it is. This is what is being served. Instead of doing noise, do what you have to do. Really, no one is really that interested, and no one will do the work for you, and no one will open the door for you. Believe me, I've tried. I have tried it in the Viking countries. They almost killed me for opening the door. She said, who do you think you are opening the door for me? I'm saying, I know women, I think they know exactly what they need to do. They just need to be motivated. And by the way, if women thought that in their job, in that startup, in wherever they need to go, there is something for them, they don't need me to push them. They don't need you to push them. They will do whatever they need to do. I am thankful for the fact that we're having such a conference. I am thankful for the fact it's a little bit even international. I think there is an understanding. But can I ask you to look at the chat? See who gave you the opportunity. Only the speakers? None of you women tried even to correspond between one another. No one was saying, listen, I'm good at, I want to offer you, or I'm looking for. This is how you are. And then what do you expect? What can I do? I'm not a miracle worker. I'm not a magician. It is what it is. So instead of trying to change it, change for yourself. Do whatever you want. In the end, it's about being individual. And in the end, investors invest in people that impress them. And you like to be friends with people who are interesting for you. And my calling, as you saw, I think I was second in the chat. I was telling you, this is who I am. And you are free to contact me. By the way, at least 3 or 4, if not 5, already contact me. So it is about, and the rest didn't, by the way. So it says about you something. And I know Tatiana very well, and I know Bianca very well, and I know you, Christina. And I'm not saying you're different. This is what I'm trying to say. You're not different. You're just doers. Same as it is men, same as in the entire population. Some are doers, some are dreamers. Just choose what's best for you. I want to thank you really for listening to me. I hope I made you angry enough. Okay, Flaviana, you didn't invite me on LinkedIn. I know why, but it's okay.
Because, no. I want to tell you that some ladies from this network already connected on the LinkedIn with other ladies, and we didn't report it on the chat. So I'm sorry that being a woman event, I connected first the ladies.
I'm telling you, you are on my, when I visit Romania, I'm going to see you. You're my first meeting when I land.
I hope I'll be enough faster for you. Because you said we are slower. I hope I'll be enough faster.
And by the way, you are invited to Israel. You know, Israel is back to normal, although we are now feeling the second wave. Second wave with us started about 3 or 4 days back. Sadly, it started with kids at school. We are closing about 20 to 25 schools a day are shut, students sent home. We see, I'm just telling you now, your mothers, think about this. Second wave in Israel is hitting on the students, the young ones. We didn't expect this. No one expected. They said kids don't have a problem with this that much as adults have. So the problem is really with the kids. They are not sick in a bad way, but they can infect. That's the problem. So we are closing schools every day more and more. So just be aware. Thank you, Christiana, for making this option and enable us to meet. Thank you so much.
Christina, if you will let me just it will be difficult, of course, to take the mic from Tal. That's always like this. But as he said, I know how to make it happen, and he saw that in Baku. And just adding my 5 cents probably. My advice is prior to waiting or looking forward to investing in yourself by someone, invest in yourself on your own. Meaning that time, money, self-confidence, self-assurance, you are to be content, you are to be enough, let's put it this way. And it's okay to be in a pinky dress. It's okay to love shopping. It's okay to love makeup. It doesn't interfere with the smartness and the brain. Okay, there is no conflict. You don't need to be a man to be successful. What you need to be is just investing again in yourself, investing in your education, remembering that money are fine for women and we are okay with the money. We are more empathetic, but this is the only way we will win the artificial intelligence, okay? So this world will be saved by the women together with the men.
May I say something, Christina? Like someone from the public, since everybody, they are keeping their cameras off. I think this should be the first step for us to know each other. Except the speakers, I don't see any cameras on.
No, they're going to open now because we're going to have a picture. And they all want to be famous on my Instagram, so they will open.
Okay. So I just wanted to say that this is a great talk and a great idea to get people together and to join the EIT Health Network. I'm trying to complete that form. I'm not sure exactly which fields to choose, but I will ask you this after the panel. There are some drop-down boxes there. Some of us, I don't know. I don't know the rest of the audience, but I am an entrepreneur, a very fresh one. I worked in IT. I'm one of the women in tech with a degree in mathematics, worked in tech. Now I have a school for kids and teens, teaching them coding and entrepreneurship. I send a couple of messages to Tal and to some other ladies here. but I wanted to present myself, to introduce myself, and I was hoping this is going to happen with everybody else here, since we are trying to build a community. And I'm interested in partnerships and opportunities to collaborate, for collaboration. So I'm reaching out to you. Feel free to reach out to me. I'm on LinkedIn as well. And thank you all the speakers for the great motivational talks. And thanks, Christina, for organizing this. This was great. Thank you.
Okay, we will also have, thank you, Diana. We also have a group on Facebook related to this subject, and I will share to all the attendants the link to join, and we can create a community of like-minded people. Thank you, Tal, for the cold shower. Thank you, Tatiana, for the warm blanket. And thank you, everybody, for the inspiring.
Can we ask
May we say something?
Yeah,
please.
Can you, but in the meantime, just open your camera, so because we really want to make this photo nice and get it on there.
We have Roxana who wants to say something.
Yes, I want to say something if the speakers finish to speak.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, thank you very much. So I would say something. There are, first of all, there are two different things. Women can work in a job, or women can own their own business, which is different. So if you work in a job, you do your best, no problem. If you want to have your own business, this is a little bit difficult, and this is what we're talking about. For a woman, I try to have my own business. I do have it now, and I have a job too. Doesn't matter. For a woman, it's not important she's a woman or not. As Tal said, it's not important. It's important you to want to do something. If you do not want to do something, you say, oh, I can't. I have kids, I have to take care of the kids. I have mother, take care of mother. I have to clean the house and so on. I can't, I'm sorry. But if I were a man, I did everything and turned everything upside down. It's not true. That means if you want to find the motivation that you're a woman and you can't, you'll find this motivation. If you want to do it, you will do it no matter if you're a woman or a man. Third, I tried as a startup because we're trying to have a startup, and I didn't understand exactly for Mr. Ion Gheorghe Petrovai if he's intermediating small business financing or not. I didn't catch it. I'll ask it later.
Ask me personally and I will answer the options that I can see if it's in healthcare related. As simple as that.
So this is number 3, and I'll say something else for you. You did show something very interesting. I didn't understand. Suppose that I have an idea at this moment, just very moment, I have no idea. But suppose I have an idea of business. Should I contact you and you will say, we give finances 5% or 95% of your business and so on?
I would say I would let Tal to ask for the eternal discussion about the idea. It's we are in the healthcare very much focused about the problem, not so much about the idea. And I can always help you understand better what is the problem, what is the solution, what is the idea, what is the team, how this can go together, and what are your options, because you can go to Tal's Accelerator. Fair enough. You can go to one of the programs of EIT Health, but there are many other programs that you can go. It's a free world.
So you help and you teach. You help and
I'm teaching as well. I'm speaking now from the university, from Babeș Bolyai University Public Health Department. It's quiet here, I can work. And I'm also teaching.
Okay, so that's your goal in your program. Okay.
Okay, I will share all the info on the Facebook group, and you'll have the info there. Okay, thank you.
I have something else to say.
Make a photo. I need to run. I'm 20 minutes late.
Sorry. We'll talk afterwards, Roxana.
Do the photo. Come on.
Let's
Just
do the
start
photo.
your cameras. Start your cameras. 3. Start your cameras.
So
wants to do his marketing bit.
Okay. 3. Just smile. Just be beautiful. That's it. I want to. Yeah.
Now.
That's it. I'm out. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
I
you.
put you the details is there. You want to call. You want to get some opinion. You want to get some feedback. You want to go cold shower, hot shower, sauna. I don't care. Just. I mean, I'm available. That's that easy. Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Arrivederci.
Bye.
Bye.